Because if we could implement everything, that would be awesome, but we can't, which means we have to go implement the things that we're most excited about. And that's going to move the needle the most in the business. And so it's going to be different for everybody. And we're going to get cranking here.
Everybody, thank you so much, as always, for your time and attention, your love and support here at LabCoatAgents. We got another incredible live webinar. This is a special one for sure, and the timing could not be better. Getting close to knocking on 2024's door. Before we jump into it, just want to say hello. I am Greg Fowler, one of your humble moderators for LabCoatAgents, and I'm also the founder of Lion Bolt Media. And today's topic: listing strategies into 2024 to combat confusion and build success, with our good friend, Tyler Fenn, VP of Sales from REDX. Tyler, it's an honor, my friend. Thanks for taking the time and dropping in here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here today.
And this is going to be awesome, just diving into all the information. And again, everybody, before Tyler really jumps in and starts dropping bombs on everybody and really helping and scale, please jump in if you have any thoughts or questions into the comment section. I'll be managing that for Tyler. That way he can go down his road in his zone and just give all the knowledge. But feel free to engage. Anything you need, just let us know and we'll jump in. But I guess, Tyler, without further ado, this topic, it's right on it. So where do you want to start with this? Talking about 2024 and listing strategy here.
Yeah. So let me if Jake, if you'll give me the ability to share my screen here. So here's the reality of it, Greg. 2023 was weird, wasn't it? I mean, 2020, 2021, 22, like, things were so awesome. You could bark at somebody and they'd be like, "Oh, you're an agent? I want to sell my house," right? Like, it was that easy.
Right.
2023 totally threw us for a loop. We saw home prices stay really high. We saw interest rates go nuts. Some crazy legislation that is going on, and I think there's a bunch of us going, "What's 2024 going to do? Like, what's it going to look like?" And that means that we've really got to have things worked out here and have some great strategies that are proven to work. So if you're okay with it, I'm going to jump in. And I'm just going to start spitting some knowledge, and you interrupt me if you want me to go deeper. How's that?
Anytime, Tyler. And again, you are the master when it comes down to this. And I would encourage everybody, and hopefully you can hear this, pens ready. Make sure you take some major notes on this one for sure. I'll be doing the same. Okay.
Well, let's jump into it. So there's a couple of things before I jump in, right? This is kind of the disclaimer here. Some of you that watch this webinar are going to be brand new agents, and some of you are going to be veterans with possibly thousands of transactions in your career. And here's what I love is, regardless of where anybody's at, people still want to learn. They still want to grow. They still want to progress. And so I'm going to teach some things that I believe will help you wherever you're at. And that's the most important thing. But we are going to cover a lot of information really quickly. And so as you're writing down notes, it's less important that you write down what I say, and it's more important that you write down what you hear, right? Because those are not always the same thing. And what's going to happen is when this is all done and you go back and look at your notes, you're going to go, "Okay, this was good, this was good, this was good. Oh man, this was really good," right? Like, star, underline, whatever you got to do. And then those are the things that you want to go implement. Because if we could implement everything, that would be awesome, but we can't, which means we have to go implement the things that we're most excited about. And that's going to move the needle the most in the business. And so it's going to be different for everybody. And we're going to get cranking here. My name is Tyler Fenn. So I've been at REDX for almost 2 decades. And my primary focus is helping real estate agents implement tools and strategies to build an engaged database. Like, that's really what it's all about, is we want to have a consistent flow of business coming in the door all the time. And there's a bunch of different ways we can do that. That's what I've been focused on here. So we're going to look at a listing strategy. So we're going to talk about the foundation of this strategy, which is the target audience. That's that it's the foundation for a reason, guys and gals. It is the most crucial thing. We're going to talk about what I call the pillars of attention. We're going to talk about paid ads, organic social media, offline advertising, prospecting, and I'm going to try to hit each one as quickly and efficiently as we can. And then ultimately what those lead to, right, is the connection part of the business that produces transactions and listings. So we're going to get there. So let me start by talking about the foundation of what any listing strategy, not even just this one, but any listing strategy, it has to start by targeting the right audience. Okay, so knowing who your target audience is the key to successful marketing, and that's not just real estate marketing, that's marketing period. Okay, okay. So I'll often ask people, I'll go, hey, who's your target market? And they go, everybody in my marketplace. And I get it. Like, I understand the thought process behind that. I've got a buddy who's a mortician, and he says everybody's a customer eventually in his business. And I go, it's not that different in real estate. Like, everybody's a customer eventually. But if you're trying to get in front of everybody, you're going to end up spending a lot of dollars in front of people that have zero interest in what you're providing right then and there. And so your target audience matters. If I had unlimited budget, I'd go put my name and face everywhere, right? Pretty soon people would just like think of real estate and that my name would, they'd hate me because my face would be everywhere. But none of us have unlimited budget, right? So if you look at the slide that's on the screen right there, statistically speaking, only 4% of the properties in our marketplace are going to transact in the next year, give or take a percentage point for up and down markets, but that's usually about the average statistic is about 4% of the homes. So think of it like this. If you had $100 to spend on your marketing, would you rather spread it across the whole circle, or would you rather focus it on the people that are most likely to transact in the next 12 months? Right? Because for me, I want the people in the red sliver right there. That's the most important thing. So if you look at it like this is just another visual representation. Everybody's in the sales funnel at some point, but we really need to focus our time and our resources on the people that are closest to the transaction. Okay, so how do we find those people? That's what everybody's going. Great, I'm with you, Tyler. How do we find them? Number one, you've got to have a CRM or a database that you're managing. But in order to really leverage this best, there has to be processes in place. So I talk to a lot of agents and I go, how do you prospect your sphere? And they go, oh, it's my phone book, right? They just go, they scroll random, and they're like, I haven't talked to this person in a while, and they call them. And while that's better than nothing, it certainly doesn't leverage your audience to the full potential, right? So you have to utilize a CRM that can help you automate the long-term communication to better leverage the relationships that you have in place. Now, as we move to this next one, I know that past clients are they fall under the umbrella of CRM, but the truth is these are the very best, in most cases, the very best relationships that you have. These are people that you've already transacted with, which means they're most likely to refer, but also sing your praises in that referral, right? They're the ones that they're like, dude, Greg solved my problem. We were in this sticky situation. He figured it out and pushed the envelope and got it through, right? That's a much better referral than, my buddy's a realtor, call Greg, right? You want people to evangelize for you. And that's really what that's all about, right? So your past clients, your offline network, these are the people that are going to put you in touch with those that are going to transact in the next 12 months. This is your doctor, your lawyer, your accountant, your neighbor, your friends, your church congregation, your networking group, like all of the people that we interact with on a face-to-face basis regularly in our lives. These are the people that we want to leverage and be in front of regularly to be looking for those people that are going to transact. And then obviously your online network, right? All your Facebook followers, your friends, your subscribers, people that get your weekly newsletter, whatever it is. All of these people would be considered your database, right? That's what all of these people fall under. But there's a huge group of people that are close to a transaction that if we're not taking advantage of, we're going to miss as well. Expired listings are one of those. Hint, I'm biased, right? I work for REDX, right? Expireds are an awesome tool. But here's the crazy thing. The average days to relist for an expired listing is 35 days. Okay. And most of the time what we do is we just call the first expired listing like every single day, and then we never touch them again. But on average, they're taking 35 days to relist. But the percentage of expireds that relist within 6 months is 95.8, right? Which means These are people close to a transaction. Right now in the marketplace, there's about 500,000 expireds, which means there are thousands in every single marketplace. And if we're not taking advantage of those, we're missing out. These are the people with they're the low-hanging fruit.
Okay.
Likewise for sell by owners, right? 9 out of 10 end up using an agent to sell a home anyway. So if we're not getting in front of those people, we're missing out. The pre-foreclosures, the distressed properties, certainly a niche of the market that people that have to transact if possible in the next 12 months. Your vacant rental properties, right? These are people looking to cash out or divest their equity into more properties. Lots of 1031 exchanges coming from this. And isn't it great to call somebody, get a transaction, and then immediately roll that into 2 or 3 more? Like that's perfect, right? That's what we want. The vacant rental properties are an awesome place to go. High turnover neighborhoods, right? What are the subdivisions, the neighborhoods, the zip codes in your marketplace that people are naturally being attracted to? Those are the areas where we have to be targeting, right? So targeting the right people is all about spending less time, money, and energy on people who aren't going to be ready this year. It's not that we want to avoid them altogether. We just want to increase the efficiency of transacting now, adding those people to the database so that we can build a highly engaged long-term database. Right now, I've shared some ideas. This is certainly not an exhaustive list, Greg, and I don't want people to walk away from it and be like, well, REDX says these are the only things, because your target audience is going to depend on a lot of things. It's going to depend on your skill, your budget, your network, your market, your goals, right? All of those things have to be taken into account when you're going, I need to target the right people. Okay. So once you've done this, we could spend hours talking about target audience, because to me, it's like, if you miss that, nothing else matters. Okay. Well, and you'll see why as we get into it. But we want to keep cranking here. Okay. So let's talk about these pillars of attention. Now that you know who your target audience is, and now it's time to get in front of those people and gather their attention, there's 4 pillars to be able to do that. The first is your paid advertising. Okay, Seth Godin, he's kind of the godfather of marketing, says anticipated, personal, and relevant advertising always does better than unsolicited junk. Right now, this is why the target audience matters so much. It doesn't matter how great your message is. If it's going to somebody to whom it's not relevant, then it's not a good message, right? You might look at it and be like, wow, this is a great marketing piece, but not if it's not going to the right audience, right? So there's a lot of ways to get the message across. There's a lot of ways to get your message out there. Door knocking, you can mail, cold calls, billboards, park benches, public transit systems, right? I mean, we can advertise in a bunch of different ways, but one of the most effective places to do that is on social media. And right now people are going, I know I should be on social media. I don't know where to start. So I'm going to give people the tips to start right now. Here's why social media. Okay. Greg, there are 2.93 billion unique monthly users on Facebook. That is 47% of the world's population over the age of 13. Okay. Which means if we want to get a relevant personal message in front of those people, we need to do it in a place where they're already giving their attention. They're giving their attention to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of these platforms, which means if we're not there, somebody else in our marketplace is, right? Awesome. So we need to get out in front of these people. And I hear this all the time. They're like, I tried social media. I spent so much money and I hired all these people and it didn't work. And my simple response to that is you have the wrong message going to the wrong audience, period. That is the reason that advertising doesn't work, is you didn't cultivate the right message with the right audience. So I'm going to take everybody through an exercise right now. There's 8 steps to this exercise. So pens out, because you're going to want to write these down. And I'm going to show you how to create a social media ad. So simple and so perfect for the target audience that it almost seems like it won't work, but I promise you it does. Okay, step number 1. You have to identify the audience, okay? And you've got to be specific. You can't go sellers in my marketplace. That's not specific enough. You need to be more specific, right? What zip code, what price range, what property type, what are the people dealing with in life right now? For the sake of this example, I'm going to use an expired listing. If I want to target expired listings in my marketplace, this is what I would do. Okay. Step number 2, I need to identify the problem that my audience is currently facing. When you look at expired listings, that's a simple answer. We go, well, their home didn't sell. right? They tried to sell it. They packed their boxes. They probably did everything their realtor said, probably, right? but their home didn't sell. So that's the problem that they face. Step number 2. Now, guys and gals, when you go through this exercise, you should sit down at the table and write these things out. You can't just put it in your mind. Write it down, and you'll see why in just a minute. So step number 3, what is my audience currently feeling? What's the emotional situation that they're in, right? For an expired listing, they're going to be frustrated, angry, they're going to have regret, they're going to be confused, worried, discouraged, right? They're going to have those types of feelings in there. And if we know that, we can then ask the question, what are they currently thinking? Okay, they're going to go, man, I wish I'd listed a year ago, or why are so many agents calling me? Why weren't they calling me when the home was on the market? Maybe I'll just sell my house on my own. Maybe we'll just stay put for now. Those are the types of things that they're thinking in their mind. Okay, so step number 5, what do they need to feel in order to take action? What is the emotion they need to feel in order to take action? Well, for an expired listing, they need to feel hope. They need to feel hope that they can still get that home sold and move on to the next stage of life like they planned for. They have to understand that it can still be done. Okay, so step number 5, what do they need to feel? And step number 6, what can you say in one sentence to help them feel that way? That's the key. What can you say in one sentence to help them feel that way? Hey, just because you missed the peak doesn't mean you can't get what you need out of the sale of your house. Timing the market is luck, but you don't have to be unlucky twice. Better to sell now than wait for more uncertainty. You don't have to change your plans. Homes are still selling in the marketplace, right? Whatever it is, like something simple, succinct, to the point that makes them go, oh, okay, that makes me feel a little better. Okay, step number 7, what is the solution to the problem? Now, the ultimate solution with an expired listing is I need to sit down with them and show them my marketing plan. I need to show them what I do differently. I need to build value in what I do. But that's too deep down the rabbit hole. Think simpler. What is the solution to their problem? Well, I need to get in touch with them, and I can do that by giving them a free consultation. I can give them an accurate market valuation. I can schedule an appointment. They can schedule an appointment with me as an industry expert. That's the step that I want them to take. And then step number 8, what is the action that they'll take to complete the solution or to have access to the solution? Okay, so it could be a call to action in your ad that says, hey, click here to learn more, schedule a free consultation, download, free ebook or free marketing guide, subscribe to a free market update, right? Whatever the intent of the ad is based on the audience that you're working with, that's going to matter. And then here's why these 8 steps are so powerful when you write them down. It's because when you look at the structure of an ad on Facebook or Instagram, all you do is take the answers to those 7 steps and put them in the appropriate place on the ad. Beautiful. What they're feeling, what they're thinking, here's the solution, here's the call to action, with a video validating the feelings that they're having. Super simple, right? Wow. So if you know your audience and you take yourself through these 8 steps, that should only take you 5 minutes, tops. Right? This is not like, oh, I need to sit down and schedule time for a brainstorming session. No, this is like super simple. Get an ad out there that's relevant to the audience. So awesome. So following these are going to allow you to create the ads with the right messaging to put in front of the audience that's going to allow them to take action and move the process forward, right? Super simple. Okay, pillar number 2, pillar of attention. Okay, go ahead.
Tyler, before you jump, this is literally beautiful information, rapid fire, as you said. I mean, incredible stuff. And I have to reiterate to the audience, I mean, those 8 steps that you just went through, magic. This makes or breaks the success of understanding, as you depicted, the core audience of who that person is. Taking the time to set yourself up this way in the foundation is going to let the rest of it do its job. And Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, but most real estate professionals and entrepreneurs don't take the time to do this.
100%.
And
most of them, though, Greg, they just don't even know that they should. The biggest weakness that we have is that we don't know what we don't know, right? And so if we're not out there educating ourselves, that's why at the beginning I said, look, the fact that we're on this webinar, part of LabCoatAgents, the fact that you're new or 30 years in the business, you're still trying to progress is awesome. That's necessary. You cannot stop doing that. But sometimes it's really simple. And I just like those 8 steps. I'm not kidding. Those are a similar group of steps in much broader scope than that large multi-billion-dollar corporations use to create relevant messaging. Like, this is not something I invented. This is the science of marketing, right? That once we know it, we can do it, which is really awesome.
And Tyler, would you say to everybody out there who's tuning into this now live with us or after the fact on different channels, would you recommend going through that exercise for each target audience that they work with and or want to work with? Is that fair to say?
Yes. And the reason why is because the message has to be relevant. Okay, so I'm going to go off script here a little bit, but have you heard of blue car theory? Blue car.
Yeah, I would love to.
So blue car theory is in your brain. We have something known as reticular activation, right? Your brain can only handle so much information. It can only consume so much at any given time. So your brain filters stuff out. So when you go buy a new blue car, you've had the experience where all of a sudden you're like, holy cow, this same blue car is everywhere, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's because now all of a sudden your brain is like, oh, this is relevant. I need to let it through. And so otherwise your brain just doesn't even let you process it. So if the marketing is not relevant, most people's brains are just going to block it out. Like, we have a billboard here in Utah, a REDX billboard on the main interstate corridor. We've had it there for, I don't know, a decade for REDX. And I'll be talking to somebody and they'll be like, hey, where do you work? I'll be like, I work for this company called REDX. And then I'll get a text message like 2 or 3 days later. They'll be like, hey, I just saw your billboard. And I'm like, you've seen it 1,000 times. But now your brain's letting it through, right? So now it's relevant for that person. They're like, oh, goodness, hey, look, there's Tyler's billboard. It's like, that is how our brain works. We have to give relevant messaging and that to allow it to get through to people, right?
Wow. Huge. And I love that. And Tyler, did not mean to interrupt. I just thought that was something
that's great.
That really stuck out to me. So pillar 2, I can't wait. This is incredible.
Pillar 2, organic social media. Okay, so we just talked about paid social media. Organic social media has there's some different things that we want to go into here, but here's the first thing that I need for people to think about. Most important in all of your content that you put out organically, that's going to the people who already follow you, right? That's your organic audience, your past clients, your friends, your family, your neighbors, right? People that already you're connected with on social media. The first thing to think about is that there's a mutual agreement that takes place on social media, like an unspoken social contract. So every time you post something on social media, you have to ask yourself, am I going to breach the social contract? Okay. The social contract is that they pay us with their attention, which is what we want. And we have to exchange something of value in return. Okay. Which means my content has to provide one of 4 things. It either has to entertain, it has to educate, it has to motivate, or it has to validate. Okay, so this next statement, I'm going to ruffle a few feathers, but I promise you it's for your own good.
Ruffle them.
If all you're doing on social media is posting pictures of your new listings with a link to the MLS and posting pictures of your clients who just transacted, please stop. And the reason why is because you are breaching that social contract. You are not providing to your audience entertainment, education, motivation, or validation, right? So people see that and they go, oh, neat. And then they scroll on. And I promise you for 99% of those posts, they have very little engagement, very few comments, very few likes, very few shares, if any, which means you're breaching the contract. They're giving attention, and in exchange, you're not giving something of value in return, okay? So let me show you how to fix that, because if you're one of those agents, I promise you I'm gonna help you. So I ruffled feathers, let's smooth them back out, okay? Here's 4 tips for great, effective organic posts, okay? Number 1, video is king, right? If you think 6 years ago, 7 years ago, TikTok didn't exist, YouTube Shorts didn't exist, Facebook Reels, Instagram Stories, none of those existed. Okay, so video is king. People aren't stopping anymore to read long text posts. They're stopping to view videos. And even though there's already a ton of videos on social media, 85% of users are saying they want even more. Okay, now I'm not saying that all of your content should be video, but you should definitely be leaning heavy in the short form content video area. Videos that are 10 to 60 seconds long that again, don't breach that social contract. You've got to educate, entertain, motivate, or validate. Okay. So tip number 1, video is king. Tip number 2, you have to have a variety of topics. Okay. You cannot be a one-trick pony because they're going to lose interest and they're going to give their attention elsewhere. Okay. So here's how you avoid that. You want to create what's known as a topic wheel. Okay. You're going to intentionally go through the process to go, these are the 4 or 5 things that I'm naturally passionate about. That's key. I'm naturally passionate about these things. Obviously, one of those is going to be real estate. I strongly recommend that number 2 is your personal life. You don't have to get vulnerable and disclose private information every time, but people want to see the real you, right? Because the relationship is existing online. They want to see the real you. So your personal life should always be number 2, and then pick 2 or 3 other things that you're naturally passionate about, right? Maybe it's motorcycles, could be, I don't know, horses. Maybe you're a real foodie, right? So you want to post about local eateries, books, maybe you like to read, skydiving, CrossFit. Like, it doesn't matter as long as it's something that you're naturally passionate about, because what's going to happen is you're going to connect with people from those different groups, from those different passions. And then the guys that like you because you share an interest in CrossFit are going to also see your real estate posts. And the people that see your book posts are also going to see your real estate posts, right? So you have to vary the topics to 4 or 5 that you're going to regularly post about on a regular basis.
Well said.
Okay. Now, tip number 3, you have to post consistently. You can't go slam 8 posts on Facebook and Instagram all in one day and then ghost everybody for 6 weeks. Doesn't work like that, right? There's algorithms that Facebook and Instagram use. You got to remember, they are a for-profit business. Meta is a for-profit business, which means they're only going to provide content algorithmically in a way that they feel like it's going to enhance their bottom line. Okay, so if you are inconsistent, that goes against you. Here's the 4 major things that they're going to take into account in the algorithms: the relationship that you have with the reader. Okay, and how often does that reader engage with you? The content type, right? So I said video is king, but you don't want to just post video. Every once in a while, do a photo, do a link, share another post, right? Those are the different content types. Popularity, how are the people who've already seen this post reacting to it? That's why your post of your new MLS listing isn't getting a lot of engagement, because the few people that did see it scrolled right past. So Facebook goes, oh, it's not relevant, don't show it anymore. Okay. So that's going to matter. And then recency of the post. Those things are going to matter. Okay. Newer posts get placed higher in the algorithm.
Love it. So
you want to make sure that that you're playing to the algorithm. It favors consistency. Time of day doesn't matter. Quit overthinking it, and don't be like, crap, I got to get something out by 8:30. Post when you can post. Post consistently. Consistently, I would say you want to post 2 to 5 times per week on a regular basis. And truth be told, the more the better, as long as you've got a varied number of topics. Okay, focus on all the content types. Don't just do video. You want to vary it, but you want to favor video. You want to post about all your topics, and then you want to repost and cross-post between Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? So put your video on your Facebook page as a post, and then also post it as a reel, and then cross-post it as an Instagram story, because that allows you to use multiple bits of content in multiple ways, multiple capacities. Okay. Now, tip number 4.
Before you get into that, Tyler, I mean, this is incredible. And the attention to detail that you have for this, huge. I would encourage everybody, if you're not feverishly taking notes, you can rewatch this again and again on YouTube after the live, because this is so much, which is 100% applicable. The way that I look at that last statement that you made, Tyler, and I would love your perspective on it. I get asked quite a bit, just kind of the different levels of, really working with the algorithm. And my initial response is kind of going back to your initial thought, which is the content and the way that that's structured for your audience is the most important thing. I mean, even if you're focusing on tags, check-ins, time frames, anything that can play well to the algorithm, nothing is ever going to supersede quality content. Meaningful,
Agreed.
Quality content for your core audience. And those 4 identifiers that you addressed, is it really hitting those boxes? Is it serving a value and reciprocal nature? I mean, so is that kind of a similarity into your conversation? I mean, if somebody comes to you, hey, what are the tips? I mean, do you just go straight for content? Like, think about the content first. Is that kind of your response to that, Tyler?
If you could only take one thing away from this presentation I'm making, again, audience would be the first.
For sure.
Who are you creating content for? But yes, if there was a second thing, I would say, is your content fulfilling the social contract?
Love it.
Is your content entertaining, educating, or motivating? Because think of anybody that you follow online, whether it's your personal or your business life, they're providing one of those three things for you.
For sure.
When you engage with somebody enough that you go follow, right? I want to see more content from this entity or this person. It's because they did one of those three things. Mm-hmm. That's why we like cat videos, right? I mean, whether or not you love or hate cats, cat videos are hilarious. That's why they're entertaining. We watch them all the time, right? And so I mean, that's just the reality of it. So yes, number one takeaway here should be, who are you getting in front of? But number two is, are you providing something of value in exchange for the attention that they're giving you?
Love it. Love it. Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to go fast because we're going here. Okay, so always have a call to action. Okay, now in your organic content, it's going to be a little softer than in your paid content. Mm-hmm. It's going to be something like, hey, click below to get these three things that I just talked about in an ebook, or follow me for more, DM me with your questions, share your own experience, right? But you should always have some sort of call to action, especially on the real estate posts. You might not on your personal life, and that's probably okay, but for sure on your business posts, your real estate content, for sure have some kind of call to action that invites people to engage with you.
Love it.
Okay, pillar 3, this is offline advertising. I shortened this down to one slide. There's a ton of stuff that we can do, but you have to keep in mind the two things. Who's the target audience and what's the message? If you sponsor a little league team and you've got a banner out on the outfield, center field fence, who are the people seeing that, and what is the message that you're giving? Right? You have to consider these things if you want your dollars to be spent effectively. But on screen, these are all examples of your offline marketing. Don't forget audience and social contract. What are we getting in exchange for the attention? Pillar number 4 is the prospecting. This is the proactive outreach of generating new business from new contacts. Did you know that 58% of agents who are netting, not grossing, netting $250,000 every year in their business still take time to knock doors?
Wow.
And the reason why is because it's one of the most effective ways to get in front of your target audience, to gather their attention. Don't just knock doors just to knock doors. Knock doors because they're your target audience, because they're in the high turnover neighborhoods, or because they're expired listings, or because they're your past clients. That's when that becomes really, really powerful. Okay, phone prospecting, picking up the phone is still one of the most effective and profitable ways to get in front of your target audience. But when you've effectively done the pillars we've already talked about, that's when telephone prospecting becomes so powerful, right? Think of it like this. So Joe Massey says, I use social media because when I call someone, they know exactly who I am. They know why I'm calling. It helps to break the ice before ever talking to them. So imagine prospecting to an expired listing, Greg, and getting on going, hey, it's Tyler with Tyler Fenn Real Estate. And they go, I've seen your videos, right? All of a sudden the credibility there that I have against the other agents that are prospecting to those people goes sky high, right? Wow. Mm-hmm. And the culmination of all of this is the belly-to-belly, toe-to-toe, face-to-face human interaction that we have. This is still where the business happens, right? Well, we have all this technology, we have all these things to automate, and that's fantastic, but the relationships and the money is still made in the face-to-face interaction. So if we do all these other things correctly, it will lead us to great connections that will always turn into listings, okay? So here's how REDX helps with all of this, guys and gals. I'm gonna go real quick. REDX provides you content that gets you in front of, gets data that gets you in front of some of these people that are close to transaction, right? Your expireds, your high turnover neighborhoods, your vacant rental properties, distressed properties for sale by owners. We do all of those. We do daily updates. We scrub against the MLS for active data. We skip trace to find the best phone numbers, scrub them against do not call registries. And we've been using AI-driven algorithms since our inception in 2003. So we do some pretty amazing things. We provide all of this to you in an easy interface for you to manage all of those. but then we even have tools to get you in front of the target audience on social media. So we've talked about creating an ad for expireds. Now we provide you the tool that will now allow you to target only the expired listings with that ad in your marketplace. And you could do it for $2 a day. And most of my clients using these tools in this manner don't spend more than $2 a day on the ad spend. And they're getting listings, they're closing deals, they're building their pipeline, they're building their database, right? So we provide all of this. And it's so easy because you create the ad right in our platform, you pick the people you want to target, and then it goes live to Facebook and Instagram. It's so cool. So this is the part of the presentation where I'd normally say, hey, go here to sign up for REDX, and there's some sweet perks for belonging to LabCoatAgents, but I'm not going to, okay? And the reason why is on December 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th, REDX has our 20th anniversary year-end sale. And so what we've done is we've discounted our products all the way down to you can get discounts between 20 and 56% off of the retail as we commemorate our 20th year in business. So rather than sign up for REDX today, I want you to wait about a week and a half and then get signed up. So here's what I want you to do instead of going and signing up. I think that Jake is going to put a link for us in the chat. I want you to go to this website, just fill out the form, and get on my VIP text list so that I can text you all of the details right after Christmas. Okay. And that way you can, and there's no obligation. You're getting on the text list. You can always unsubscribe, but I want you to go there so that I can give you all the details. We've been partners with LCA for a lot of years. And there's a lot of people in this group that are using REDX successfully. We want to share the wealth. We want to share the knowledge. I was on a training yesterday where somebody said, I've never worked with a company who worked so hard to help their agents be successful. And that was like, oh, hit me right in the feels, right? Because that's how I feel. We really do try to help people be successful in their business. So Greg, I've got a few minutes over. I even asked you, that's funny. I said, if I go 35 minutes, will you hate me? We just went 35 exactly.
Right on the button.
And I'm going to call it. Guys, last thing, if you want to connect with me, there's my Instagram handle. There's REDX's official Instagram handle. Go connect with me. If you connect with me today, please DM me and go, hey, here's what I thought was best about the presentation today. I'll connect with you and we'll start building a relationship with one another. Greg, I'm done. I did
Tyler, drop the mic on that one, my friend. I mean, that was a master class. I mean, in 30 minutes or actually less, the tactical takeaways and tools that you had shared with, LCA is incredible. And I would encourage everybody to take that to heart. What Tyler is saying is tried and true, and really applying these things to your business are going to help grow and scale. And in a very big way into 2024 for that listing strategy that you're looking for. I would also encourage everybody to jump on that text list. That's huge. I mean, Tyler, you didn't have to do that, but the fact of the matter is you're like, hey, everybody, hang out, wait to that time frame, get the percentage off. If this interests you at all, you got to do it. Jump on it. Tyler, I can't thank you enough, my friend. I mean, that was incredible. Truly an honor to spend this time with you.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. And not my first time doing a webinar, won't be my last. But my hope is that every time people can walk away, whether or not they buy my product, I want them to walk away and go, hey, I had some things that I'm excited to implement in my business. And so I hope I was able to do that for everybody today.
That and then some, my friend. I can't thank you enough. Everybody out there, I can't thank you enough, as always, for your time and attention, love, and support. Continue to come back. More incredible live webinars here at LabCoatAgents. And we'll catch everybody on the next one. Take care.
See ya.